one of the most interesting people I've ever met through the wrestling world, and he is certainly a legend, man of many, jack of all trades, I should say, man with many hats he wears as well. He is the one, the only Tommy Dreamer. Mr. Dreamer, how are you?
Not bad. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Coming off the draft and all the busyness that it is. Did you tune in and watch?
Of course I watched the draft. I was actually supposed to be at the draft,
Yeah,
but
I also.
card subject to change.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I could have swore I heard that you were gonna be a draft pick. That's what the internet said.
Yeah, well, it's actually that one was I was supposed to be there, but they changed some stuff up. It was all good though. Sometimes internet rumors are true, and sometimes they're false. I did have a meeting with WWE week before, and they were in Grand Rapids. I was visiting my family on vacation. Had a little bit of a meeting, and then everything got all changed, but it's all good. Life is wonderful.
Yep.
And for the record, I don't know if many people know, when they did the first ever draft, I was the last ever drafted. I believe Moppy, Ivory, Terry Runnels, who was a commentator, a chair, and a ladder were all drafted higher than me.
You were Mr. Irrelevant. Mr. Irrelevant. Well, Tommy, real quick, before I want to kind of circle around a bunch of things and just the world and pop culture, but just off of saying that, I'm seriously asking this, what has been the secret? Is it just your charming personality that you literally are like the smartest guy in wrestling? The fact that it seems like simultaneously you are able to have keys to the WWE offices, to the Impact offices. You got House of Hardcore. Like everybody likes you. How are you such a likable guy when you're supposed to be so violent?
Well, that's my on-air persona. Well, I mean, honestly, I've always treated people with the way I want to be treated. And, I really don't, I formed a company over no BS, and that's kind of how I like to do it. Any task given to me, I will take it to the utmost that I can. So I guess that's kind of a hard worker, always have been, in the ring and out of the ring. And, I have formed great relationships with people just based on that, your word, and being honest in the wrestling business, that's, pretty deceitful.
No, that's well said. Talk about working hard out of the ring. Have you been working hard? Have you given in to the cult that is Pokemon Go?
I have not. My daughters have, and they were super duper excited. Actually, last week when I was with them, and I took them for the first time, and as a former, and I still work out, though my body doesn't look that way, but as a former gym rat, and the whole purpose to go to Pokemon is to go to gyms, and I took my kids for the first time ever to work out, which was really, really cool. And then it was totally offset by them running to me, and like I thought they would be enjoying this entire experience. I think they conned me because I didn't know about the gym and Pokemon thing, so I think my 12-year-olds worked me, and they told me like they got 2 new Pokemons that nobody had and all this stuff. I don't know anything. I know anything about it. I also know that it makes $1.4 million a day. I know that it is pure genius, and I know that there will be several lawsuits from all the pure buffoonery known as people and their stupidity.
Yes, absolutely. People walking on train tracks and such, and getting mad when trains come at them. Speaking of the Pokemon in the gym, it was crazy. Vince McMahon tweeted a picture last week of a Pokemon. Well, I'll say the Vince McMahon account tweeted a picture of a Pokemon at his gym, and then with Xavier Woods talking about Pokemon on Monday in his promo, it got me to thinking. And you would know this because you know him, you know him well. I can only imagine the conversation of somebody, whoever, writer or whoever, explaining to Vince McMahon what Pokemon Go is. I could just hear him now, like, Squirtle? Does she work for Ring of Honor? Like, I can just try to picture him grasping the Pokemon Go thing. But
I think if you threw the numbers at him and said it was an app, and then he would say it was brilliant.
Yeah,
we should do one.
There'll be a Pokemon Go panel show on the WWE Network. Tom, you been watching any of the Republican National Convention?
Absolutely not. I just told you I formed a company, and our slogan is no politics, no BS, just wrestling. And I hate politics for a lot of different reasons, but there's the tie-in for when you got to include all your hashtags to Cleveland. Mm-hmm. And I love, I got to admit, I've met both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton kind of lives by me. And Donald Trump, I met when he was the owner of Monday Night Raw. and he was nothing but cool. And, you know, it was funny when we first when I saw all this and saw the stuff he was doing, I was like, he's going pro wrestler 101. He's cutting promos. He's going the heel mode to get noticed. And I thought it was pure brilliant, but I didn't think it would go so far. And now I'm saying to myself, holy crap, this guy could actually be president. And, you know, I saw the whole, you know, his entrance, and I was just like, yep, that's like The Undertaker's. And it's just, it's awesome because it's Pro Wrestling 101. And he was a huge wrestling fan, you know, still is. Super nice guy, treated all the wrestlers really, really cool. I don't know his qualifications to be president, but I would probably vote for Vince McMahon first, though he should have been his running mate, because those would have been two awesome egos together.
Could you imagine if Trump gets elected and there's a WWE Hall of Famer in the White House? We are never going to hear the end of it. WWE's going to be touting that for at least the next 4 years. That's going to be tremendous.
This what this election is the least. What is that called? Where people like both candidates the least out of the history of the presidential elections.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I don't like politics, and to prove why, because they're phony, and I do believe, like Rhino is running for political office, and Rhino cares about the welfare of his town, and if you talk to Rhino, he will talk to you about improving road conditions. I do think most politicians get in to try to help, and they're there with the cause, but then you just get bogged down by the system. And I think this entire race has been pure comedic gold for comedians for generations to work on, because, you know, even from, you know, the duplicate speeches, and I was like, there's no way that that's actually happening, and yet it did.
Yeah, it's certainly, this election season certainly rejuvenated Saturday Night Live. Well, let's Tommy, speaking of no politics, no BS, Pro Wrestling 101, all that. Let's get into your company, House of Hardcore. Congrats on the success thus far. It's been 3 years now that you guys have been doing shows?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, I don't really count the first year because it was just one show in October, and then I did 2, and then I went to 4. But this year has been really, really steamrolling. You know, we had a sold-out show in Melbourne, Australia, which I couldn't have been prouder of everyone who's ever worked for me, because to go to Melbourne without television and to pack that place and just to see the people's reactions has just been amazing. And, you know, I had a little, you know, TV show on the Fight Network. I just wanted to, you know, try it out, do a season. That was last year. We set the attendance record at the Ted Reeve Arena. So, you know, momentum has been moving forward, and that's what I want to do. You know, everyone is talking about the draft, and I love it. And if you look at the draft and you look at the business, everyone's who got called up from NXT. What's going to happen there is there's a lot of spots now that need to be filled in NXT. What's going to happen on both brands, it's going to be, for some people, sink or swim time. And if it's sink, that means those people are going to be out of jobs. And the business needs to keep on filtering talent. And that's kind of what I love to do. I love to see so many people that I have, besides hired when I was working in WWE, but, you know, used on my shows, and then, you know, they get either, you know, hired to WWE. And I really, really enjoy that whole process. Sometimes it's a struggle, but most of the times it's, you know, I couldn't be happier for people. Because if you look at, you know, the history of the business, what was ECW? ECW pretty much was a developmental system for the business. And, you know, I kind of want that spot again. And I'm just happy with the success that it's been. You know, my next show is August 6th in Pasadena, Texas. I'm going to try to raise money for autism. And then I got New York and back to the Philly on the 16th to 17th of September. And I guess my big news, you know, and I always got to be a man of my word. And like I said, you know, where you asked me how I have my relationship with, you know, people and companies, but I also have my relationship with wrestling fans, and because I'm a wrestling fan, and kind of joking, but not so much. And then, you know, it became to fruition because, you know, I was already kind of talking about it and thinking about it. And, I said if the Penguins win, I'm going to bring House of Hardcore to Pittsburgh, as well as I said, I'd bring House of Hardcore to Cleveland if the Cavaliers won. And guess what? They both won. Now I'm going to do back-to-back nights in Pittsburgh. I'm sorry, in Cleveland and Pittsburgh on October 14th, but I'm coming to Pittsburgh on the 15th, and with help from, I know you guys may see different times, see differently from in the IWC, but, I've had a great relationship with them throughout the years, as well as that's how I, met up with you. And, so I'm looking forward to bringing, House of Hardcore to Pittsburgh, because if there's ever was a town besides, Philadelphia, New York, it was Pittsburgh for me in my career when I totally said, whoa, this ECW thing is really something different. And I kind of want the fans to feel that same way, and I do a lot of social media, especially on Twitter, and I ask fans where they want, House of Hardcore to come, and it's always been Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Chicago. So I'm working on Chicago, but for now, I look forward to coming to your town and whooping your butt if you get up in my face again, like you always seem to like to do somewhere. And we're coming there in October.
So there you hear it, October 14th in Cleveland, October 15th, coming to Pittsburgh, House of Hardcore, along with IWC Wrestling. And I believe that will be Elizabeth, Pennsylvania, right just outside of Pittsburgh at the Court Time Sports Complex. So details, look for more information very soon. But October 15th, Pittsburgh, House of Hardcore coming. And in terms of you whooping my butt if I get in your face, remember, you're coming to my town, and I'm going to make sure there's no – because last time there was a damn prosthetic leg, and you got – I don't know how you always do it. You get a hold of these fake limbs, and you hit me, and I think I got blood somewhere on my nice white shoes. So I'm just reminding you, I appreciate you coming on the show, but you are coming to Pittsburgh. This is where I live, so let's behave yourself, Mr. Dreamer. That's all I'm going to say.
In the weirdness of my life, I did, we did another show, House of Hardcore show in Niagara Falls, and a fan also handed me his prosthetic leg. Hey, I love the fact that people, it's interactive wrestling when it's Tommy Dreamer, and I'm thinking about, I've done that so many times there, and that's just happened to me. And I just love when it happens organically, and it's all about. Honestly, it's all about the fans and having a great time. And I don't have to profess how much I love this business. Everything I have in my life is because of this business, and I just want to show Pittsburgh my brand of insanity known as professional wrestling that I've been hooked since I was 9 years old.
I would love it if one day that was a Final Jeopardy question, like in 70 years when you're dead and gone. It's like that's like a Final Jeopardy question, which famous which wrestler became famous using prosthetic leg 55 times in his career. All right, well, Tommy, thanks for coming on. Great news for Cleveland, great news for Pittsburgh. Great news for any wrestling fan if they can just get themselves to Cleveland or Pittsburgh. October 14th, Cleveland. October 15th, here in Pittsburgh, in partnership with IWC Wrestling, Elizabeth, Pennsylvania, Court Time Sports Complex. I'm sure details in terms of tickets and talent and all that will be coming out as things go. Of course, you can go to Twitter and follow House of Hardcore. You can also follow Tommy Dreamer there, and you can follow at IWC Wrestling. Tommy, thank you, and we'll be crossing paths sooner than later.
See you later, man.
All right.